Let's talk about two amendments that aren't often talked about a lot, the 9th and 10th. Can you tell us the meaning and importance of these amendments?
The 9th Amendment and the 10th Amendment don't look like the others. It's like the old question, which one of these doesn't look like the other? The 9th Amendment in and of itself is a rule of construction, but also arguably includes some rights underneath it. So when we think about the text of the 9th Amendment, essentially the text of the 9th Amendment says that the mere fact that some rights are listed in the Constitution as belonging to the people doesn't mean that that includes the entire list of rights that people ought to have and ought to be able to exercise. So what it suggests is we can't make the argument that the mere fact that a right isn't listed means that people don't have them. We still have them. The Constitution, or rather the Declaration, talks about unalienable rights. In theory, they exist. The problem, of course, is by not identifying the rights that people have under the 9th Amendment, it's unclear what those rights are. So some folks make the argument the 9th Amendment is there as a nice principle to limit the federal government, but it doesn't really provide individual rights in and of itself. And that's an issue that continues to be fought over as we move forward in this great nation of ours. The 10th Amendment, what does the 10th Amendment do? The 10th Amendment is a limitation on the federal government that reminds the federal government that if Congress, if the federal government as a whole has not been given a power, then states are likely going to continue to exercise that power. It's another way of reminding us that the federal government is a government of limited powers. That's what it's supposed to do. How has it worked most recently? Most recently, the suggestion has been made that it's a way of telling the federal government that it's got to keep its hand off of the states and the states' abilities and the states' rights. So we do have a little thing we call an anti-commandeering principle. The idea is that the federal government can't make the states do much of anything, and they can't make state officials do what the federal government needs to be able to do or needs to do on its own.